guys, welcome back to my channel. We're finally here. My very first bump date. My very first pregnancy update for you guys. I love watching these videos on YouTube of other YouTubers that I watch that are pregnant and stuff. So the fact that I'm sitting here doing one myself is pretty crazy. So by now, or maybe you're new here and you have no clue, but you guys know that I am currently pregnant with baby number 3. Whew, child. Today is January 3rd and I am currently 13 weeks and 4 days pregnant. So just in 3 days I will turn 14 weeks, which officially puts me in the second trimester, which is crazy to even think about. Like, it's already flying by. Now obviously I kept this a secret for a while for several reasons. One of the big reasons, of course, is because you guys know really early on is very critical. I mean, the whole thing's critical, but you know, the first several weeks are very critical, and that's when also the chances of miscarriage and stuff are the highest, and of course they gradually go down as the weeks progress. And they say typically once you hit week 12 that you're in the safe zone. Of course, unfortunately, anything can happen at any point, but that's typically what they consider the safe zone. So I didn't want to wait till at least then to announce it. I have had a miscarriage in the past before my son, so that's one of the reasons. But also, you know, the more kids you have, the more I realized, like, I wasn't like in a rush to just, you know, put it out there. It was actually pretty nice just kind of keeping it between me, my man, and our family for quite a while. So I just announced it on social media like last week. Again, I don't know when you guys are seeing this. You guys are probably seeing this a week late just because I had to get the other videos up first. But I did announce my pregnancy on my social media like when I was like 12 weeks or so. Well, actually a couple days over 12 weeks. So I did wait. And that's why I'm having to play catch up with you guys. And because I waited so long to announce, as you guys can tell from the title today, I'm just gonna be doing a full just first trimester update, just the entire first trimester as a whole. I figure it'll be just easier and best this way. A lot of people go week by week, but honey, that is just way too much for me. So my plan is to do this one, which is going to be the whole entire first trimester, and then I'll go month by month after that. So if you don't know, the first trimester actually runs from week 1 to 13. You are technically 3 months pregnant at that point. So starting in a few days, I will be in my second trimester, and then I will be technically 4 months pregnant. So we will go 4 months, 5 months, you know, and so on from that point forward. But anyways, yeah, before we go ahead and get started, if you guys are excited for this new journey and all the things, then go ahead and give me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe if you're not already. And let's go ahead and get on into it. Okay, so obviously when I first found out I was pregnant, I knew I was going to be keeping it for a while, but I also knew I was going to be doing these type of videos right here. So I did take notes here in my phone. I broke it down month per month, you know, all the weeks, and wrote down my symptoms and stuff because I knew between mommy brain already and then pregnancy brain on top of it, there's no way I would remember all of this from 2 or 3 months ago. So we're just gonna kind of reflect back over the whole entire first trimester. So if you've seen my I'm pregnant video, which is the first video telling you guys that I was pregnant, you guys kind of, if you watch the whole thing, you guys kind of know some of the stuff from month 1, because that is where I was at that point. Month 1 consists of weeks 1 through 4. And now because I did go into a lot of this in that first video, I don't want to waste too much time on month 1 because I did, you know, talk about these things already, but I will run through it very quickly just in case any of you maybe haven't seen that video. So month 1, which again was weeks 1 through 4, obviously my period was late, but I had been going through a lot, still going through a lot, but I was really going through it then. So I thought my period was just late due to stress. You know, I was really stressed out, had a lot going on, and I was just like, it's late, I'm stressed, whatever. Well, that wasn't the case. And so, but a lot of the symptoms that I was having in those weeks were headaches, acne. I was so freaking extremely fatigued. My boobs were sore. I had mood swings, you know, all of which are very common when you're getting ready to start your period. I know they're very common for me. So again, I just thought I was just getting ready to start my period. She was just really behind schedule. Another thing, there were 3 dreams that happened during that time. I had 2 and my mom had one. And this was before I found out I was pregnant. If you want more in-depth stuff, you can go back and watch that video. Like I said, I wanted to run through it kind of quickly because I did already talk about it, but it was just crazy. Moving on into month 2, which is weeks 5 through 8. Again, with the sleepiness, I was so dang exhausted. Like, the exhaustion was real. I can't even explain to you this exhaustion. All I ever wanted to do was sleep, and it's like no matter how much or how little sleep I got, it was never enough. And that was new to me because I know that fatigue is very common in early pregnancy, but I had never been this exhausted with any of my pregnancies before. With my daughter, I was in school, and then with my son, I worked in a warehouse. So I did experience fatigue, but never like this. And currently I'm a stay-at-home mom, and it's like, why am I this tired? Like, I have worked and gone to school and done other things in my other pregnancies, and I was not this tired. Why am I this tired now? I don't know. I know every pregnancy is different, so whatever, but this one had me down bad. Again, my boobs were still sore. I started experiencing a lot of gas, which may be TMI, but hey, we're all human, we all do it, whatever. I was starting to get irritable, but more so with my kids, but only because, I don't know, this was before they knew. So I don't know if they like could sense something or something, but like they turned up. My daughter's attitude just crunk up, the whole not listening thing. My son started getting more rambunctious, and I'm like, what is going on? Listen, this is not the time for this, okay? I'm tired, I don't feel good, I need y'all to stop. So I was really irritable, but mainly with them, but it was because their attitudes and their demeanors just changed out of nowhere, and I'm like, why are y'all being like this? I had dry mouth and I was thirsty. And the funny thing about this is I only wanted cold water, even to this day. Like, I only want cold water, which is not like me, because if you know me, I would swear by room temperature water. I never liked cold water. I like my water room temp, which is actually better for you. But starting in like month 2 and up till now, I only want cold water. Room temperature water disgusts me, and that's just strange to me because that's not like me. But going back to my kids, my son started being extra clingy, and he's still to this day the same way. He's always been a little more, you know, he's the baby for now, but he started getting extra clingy. I started getting some slight nausea around 6 to 6.5 weeks. Before this, boy, I was living my best life. I thought, man, I'm not even sick. I haven't gotten nauseated yet. With my other pregnancy, by that point, I had already like been nauseated and stuff. So by this time, I'm like, man, I'm not even gonna get sick this pregnancy. This is great. Well, about 6.5 weeks, it started. It was just slight though. I had a little bit of nausea and then it go away. Then at this point, I was starting to get like, because I haven't had an ultrasound yet, because I was so tired and so drawn down, and I was actually already starting to show. I was like, oh my God, please don't let this be twins. I will pop a picture up here for you guys. So I took a picture when I was like 6 weeks. And you guys can see, like, I'm already starting to form a bump. And then I also took another one at 9 weeks, like right before I had my doctor's appointment. And I was like, Lord have mercy, please don't let this be twins. But it turns out, no, it was just one. You know, they say that the more you have, the quicker that you start to show. So I'm guessing that's all that was. Then at the 7-week mark, I got nauseated, and I was nauseated all day long. I never threw up, but I just had this nauseated feeling in my gut all day long, and that's awful. And then some cravings started. I started craving orange juice. Like, I really wanted orange juice really bad. And then I wanted like beans and rice. It didn't matter what kind of beans they were. I just wanted some kind of beans and rice. I wanted like some pinto beans and cornbread and some red beans and rice. Like, stuff like that is what I was craving. This is a real true and through Southern baby right here. But the funny thing about my cravings, I don't really have many even till now, but when I have a craving, I will crave it right then and there, but then the very next day I may think it's disgusting and don't even want it. And that's different for me, because when I was pregnant, my other two, you know, when I would crave something, I may crave it all pregnancy long, or I would crave it constantly or something like that. Now I want something, I get it, and then that next day I may think it's disgusting. So like how I was craving orange juice and stuff and all that then, now I don't want it. I have a jug of orange juice in my refrigerator now that's been there probably for a month. It's still technically good, but I'm gonna drink it. I don't want it. I don't want it now. Nope. Oh, that's pretty funny. Hormones are a pretty crazy thing, aren't they? So that's pretty much it for month 2. Again, those were weeks 5 through 8 for me. And then I'm moving on to month 3, which was weeks 9 through 13. So starting from week 9, I had my very first doctor's appointment, which is also new to me because with my other 2, you know, when you take a pregnancy test and you tell them you're pregnant, they used to want to see you around the like 6-week mark or so. But then when I called and made my appointment, when I found out I was pregnant this time around, they were like, yeah, we normally don't see patients till like the 9 or 10 week mark. And I'm like, that's strange. You know, it used to be 6 weeks. So, you know, they're changing everything nowadays. Who can keep up? But so they wanted to see me for the first time around the 9 to 10 week mark. So I had my first appointment December 5th, and I was like 9 weeks and 3 days, something like that, in which I did have an ultrasound because that was considered the confirmation appointment, where, you know, they give you a pregnancy test via urine, then they give you an ultrasound, you see the doctor, you do blood work, you do all the things. So I did have an ultrasound. I want to cover up my information here, but here is a picture of the little ultrasound that I had. As you can see, baby right here, very tiny. It's really not a good picture. It looks huge because she zoomed in, but it's actually really tiny at that point. At that point, I think baby was only like an inch big. So this was at 9 weeks and 3 days, and so far this is the only ultrasound I've had, so I can't show you guys an updated one where baby is bigger and actually looks like a baby yet, but I will be having one here in the next few weeks, and I'm gonna be finding out the gender. But yeah, everything went well at that appointment. Like I said, I got blood work done and all that, and all my blood work came back great and normal, and everything was fine. Baby had a nice strong heartbeat, and I was so excited for that appointment and for that ultrasound because, you know, like when you first take the pregnancy test and you get that confirmation that you're pregnant, you know, you kind of play this waiting game. You know, at that early you can't feel baby move or anything, so you're just like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? I want to see my baby. I want to make sure that things are going great and that everything's okay. So whenever I had this appointment and I had the ultrasound and I heard baby's heartbeat and all that, it was like this big weight that was just lifted off my shoulder, you know, and I was like, okay. And I also have been experiencing acne and really dull skin. I'll have days to where like my skin's real nice and fresh and looking like, hey, like you might actually start getting a glow, but then that quickly changes and no, I'm just looking dull and lifeless underneath this face. Oh, up until the 11-week mark, I hadn't threw up yet. I've said I've had nausea, but I hadn't actually threw up. Well, at the 11-week mark, I threw up for the first time. I was feeling good that morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna cook me some eggs, some grits, some toast, and pour me up a nice glass of orange juice. Made my breakfast, sat down. I took maybe 2 to 3 bites. Maybe 2 to 3. And then I felt myself, oh. Now normally when I get nauseous, I will sit there and I'll just, you know, calm down, and I'll take my deep breaths and I'll calm myself down and I can get my nausea to kind of go away. Well, not this time. Oh, honey, she was coming, and she was coming full force, and she did. It was not pretty. That was the first, and so far, knock on wood, the only time that I've actually thrown up. Again, I've had my bouts of nausea. I still have bouts of nausea every now and again, depending on, it might be a smell, or it might just be like if I haven't eaten in a while, I'll get nausea or something like that. But hopefully, since I'm approaching my 2nd trimester, I hope that that nausea kind of continues to like go away. But you know, some people have nausea all the way to the end of their pregnancy, so we'll see. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, but yeah. Also, another thing is that like I constantly either I need to brush my teeth or I need some mints because the taste of the saliva in my mouth grosses me the heck out. Like, I don't want to taste it. Like, you know, especially when you get done eating. You know, when you first get done eating a meal, sometimes you like to savor, like when you first get done eating, you know, you like to savor all the taste and stuff in your mouth. No. My food may be delicious, but as soon as I'm done, I'm like, I need a mint now because I'm gonna throw up. It just, I don't know, it just tastes so disgusting to me. So I like keep peppermints and mints and all and stuff. I have to keep them in my pocket, my purse, everywhere, my bra, I don't care. I have to have a mint. And then lastly, I will mention my prenatals. I started taking prenatals like when I first found out. So back when I was like 4 to 5 weeks, I immediately started taking prenatals because that's so important. If you watched me telling my man video, then you've seen these. But these are the prenatals that I started with. These are the VitaFusion prenatals. My light is kind of washing it out, but they're gummies because with my other two I took pills, and I was so nauseous and all that with them that sometimes the pills would make me sick, or when I threw up or if I burped or something, you could taste the vitamin, and I was just like, I don't want that this time around. So I'm gonna try some gummies out, right? And these are raspberry lemonade flavored, and from the time I was 4 to 5 weeks up until, I don't know, probably like the 7-8 week mark, these were great. Like, I love taking these. They tasted fantastic, and they do. But it's just when you start getting nauseous and things start getting gross and you start having those aversions and stuff, that's when these were like a no-go for me. I started getting to the point where I didn't want to take them. I did take them, but it took a lot for me to take them. And even then, I would put them in my mouth and I'd turn them like this because it was so disgusting to me. The taste got disgusting. If you like raspberry lemonade, or maybe you don't get as nauseous or anything like that, then these are great. Oh, also, why did I not think about this? Listen, see, I told y'all, pregnancy and mommy brain already. How I was telling you guys that I was so exhausted, and I've never been this exhausted before in a pregnancy. I thought that my iron might have been low. You know, I hadn't been to the doctor in a while, so I didn't know where my iron was sitting. I never had problems with my iron before in my life ever, or with either one of my pregnancies before. But you know, everyone's different. And because I was so freaking exhausted and didn't know why, I was like, maybe my iron is low, like something's going on. And come to find out, these specific vitamins do not have iron in it. They had everything else, they just didn't have the iron. And I didn't worry about it at first, but once these started making me sick, I knew that when I found a new vitamin that I wanted it to have iron in it. That is when I got these babies right here. Now I will say I ordered these like right before I had my first 9-week appointment. They did draw blood work. I got the blood work back after I got these vitamins. Turns out my iron wasn't low. My iron was actually 13, which is great. Guess my hormones just hit different this time around because my iron wasn't low. But I already had these on the way. They are pills. I found these online. I will link these down below. I couldn't find them in a store near me. Maybe you can find these in a store near you and you don't have to look online, but I had to buy them online. So these are by NATUREMADE. You guys can see. And these are the Prenatal Multi Plus DHA. And these actually have iron. When I found these, I'm like, these are perfect. They have everything. They actually have a couple more vitamins in it than these do. I'm not gonna run through all the vitamins that's on the back of these because hello. But if you guys are interested, you know, you can look them up yourself. You know, they have pictures online and they show which vitamins they have in them. And then another thing that I liked about it is it's just 1 a day. These are 2 a day. So I really struggled taking these after a certain point, but these is just 1 a day. They don't make me sick feeling at all. I got these from Amazon and they're actually a really good price. I think I paid less than 10 bucks for these, and there's 110 pills in here. And again, it's only 1 a day. So you have over 3 months use in just this one bottle. So this is really a good deal. See, these have 90 gummies in it and you have to take 2 a day. And I think I paid like 10 bucks for these. So 10 bucks for these with 110, you take 1 a day. $10 for these, which has 90, and you take 2 a day. Definitely a way better deal, and it has more vitamins and stuff, and it was just better all the way around. The only downside to these, which is not a downside to me because it doesn't bother me, I don't have a problem swallowing pills, but I know a lot of people have a problem swallowing pills. So if you do, you may not like these because they're kind of big. I'm not gonna lie, I will show you guys. This is what one looks like. Pretty big. I don't have anything to compare it to really, but I mean, about a good inch or so long, which is pretty big for a pill, but I guess that's what you get when you have everything you need, all your vitamins and everything you need for you and baby in just one pill a day. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. That's really all I have in my notes. I ran through all of my symptoms and stuff from the beginning till now. I told you guys about the prenatals. I showed you guys my first and only ultrasound so far. I guess the only thing left to do is show you guys my bump. I told you guys I started showing really early, and this is all bump here. I'm sucking in the rest of my fat, I swear. But yeah guys, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot. I do apologize if I was talking really fast during this video, but I was trying to run through it, alright? Like I said, this was the entire first trimester. So from this point forward, when I do monthly updates, it won't be as long and it won't be as in depth and it won't be as much. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see ya in the next one.